don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Tom, and today we will be taking a look at the Toyworld TWC01 Bulldozer. This is their rendition of, what's his name, Bonecrusher? No, Scrapper. No, whatever the hell his name is. We all know him as a Constructicon. Here's the front of the box. Here's the front of the box. Here's the side of the box. Side of the box. This side of the box you get a picture of him as an arm. Okay. Back of the box you get warnings not to eat things. And yeah. Opening the box up you get instructions and a sticker. Okay for stickers. Oh, and a card. Okay. So, let's see. It comes in a foam insert. This is what you get inside of the box. Looks like we have a Constructor / Devastator hand. We'll look at that in detail later. You get a gun. You get a forearm piece. You get a drill. You get a spare piece of chain link for the robot. It's all packaged in this nice foam insert. Get on there. And you get the robot itself. That was everything in the box. Taking the foam out, you see we have an empty box. Alright, so that's the unpackaging. We'll stop here and I will give you initial impressions. Okay folks, so excuse me, right off the bat let's do some let's take a look at the accessories here real quick. Here are the spare treads that come with him, and they just snap together. They're nice. Here is the drill component that will work in lieu of a fist, and it'll rotate. I don't know how well that comes off, but it's just a gray black piece of kind of, well, it's more grayish black than, it's a matte black, I think, piece of plastic. And there's a piece of flash. Okay. Yeah. And here is the forearm piece. And it's got, I don't know if I can, yeah, okay. Looking at it, it's got pistons and it's got molded in detail here in the inside, purple plastic. It looks nice. I really do enjoy this. It looks very good. So, now that I've got it out, I may not be able to get back in, but I'll deal with that later. Alright, because I'm sure not going to break it. Okay. Alright, and this just plugs in, or it's supposed to anyway. It's got two little, it's got a release lever here on this side. Just lets it plug right in. Okay. You can do this with the hand as well. The hand is just purple plastic with a little bit of gray and some black. It's got hinges for the fingers so you can splay them, just like the Metroplex hands that I reviewed earlier, the DNA design. It's got it's got lots of points of articulation, so you can really do stuff with it. Look forward to seeing what this looks like on him. Okay. The gun is a nice glossy, well, it's just kind of a, the gun is a flat black, but it's got some nice red on it. Let me put it like that. Nice molded detail. Alright. Now, initial impressions on this guy right here. What's his name? Bulldozer. Now, I've had this guy for a while. I think I bought him when he first came out, and I like him. I do. He's got nice little heft to him. He's got some nice paint right through here, some silver, some red on the top, some grays through here, some silver through here. That's actually flash in there. Got those little clips right here that don't really serve a purpose in this mode. The treads do roll, as you can see, which is a really nice feature here. These things plug in down here at the bottom, but they have a tendency to come out occasionally. So they do plug together. But it does make a solid piece, and it does, like I said, it does roll. So now the way that I display mine, when he is in this mode, is I separate this, I pull this down, and I pull these two together. And I know that doesn't make as big of a thing, but I just personally like it like that. I like it better like that. And you don't have to display yours that way. You can display yours however you want to. I've liked mine that way for quite a while. And again, it's a much smaller thing, but I like it better like that. So that's how I do it. Size comparisons, here he is with Inferno. Just sense the scale. Okay, set Inferno to the side. And here he is with Legend Scale Bumblebee. And because here he is with the DX9 version of himself. What do they call this guy? I can't remember now. But here he is. He tiny. He wee. He wee. He wee. Okay. Let's do some scale, some size real quick. And he's coming in at tread to tread, 4.5 inches. If you count the Bulldozer fully extended, it's 6 1/4. From the top, I'm not going to count this at this moment. From here to here, we're looking at 2 3/4. When you count the top fully extended, it is 3 1/4 inches. All right, so there's your scale and measurements. Transform this guy up to the best of my ability. So we begin, and I have to say I do like this guy if I haven't said this already. We begin by coming back here to the back and simply pulling it apart right here and rotating all this down. Okay. We can separate these two things, which will become the legs. This part right here will be feet. We can pull these aside on rockers or these rotating joints if you notice. These will become feet, and they just rotate around on a series of hinges and things, and they form something that looks kind of like that. So we do this on both sides. If you can see it a little bit better maybe from this angle, they just kind of snap together, and bam, you got 2 feet, just like that. Just that simple. Now on the inside of both thighs you have these things, and they just come up to the back, pull them out a little bit, and bring them back to the back like that. You also have corresponding ones on the outer thigh that you need to pull out and rotate out, just like this. Okay, so you have something that looks like this. Now these are going to come together. They rotate down, they come together, you just snap them together like that, and then you push them up. This will serve as the brace for the knee joint. Do this on both sides. Okay, and just you can push them up, push them down, whatever happens. So here is your crotch area on your robot, and as you can notice, they're going to come together and form his crotch. Now I've had some issues, and I've heard of other people having issues with this. What I do here is I kind of push the one with the peg and not the port closer together first, and I put my finger here, my thumb, on both sides as I'm pushing together. And if I do it right, I may have to do it one once or twice. If I do it right, I get that one in first, and then they just kind of work together. Doesn't always work right. Sometimes you got to do it once or twice. But the trick is to get them to line up so that, there you go, you can just kind of squeeze them together. And there are his lower legs done. And then you push these where you had them up here, just kind of get them out of the way, push them down. And that's the lower half of his body done right there. Okay? Now the top part's relatively simple. Tell you what, why don't I raise up my camera here? What have I done with my... Here it is. Okay. Alright. Oh, crap. There we go. You never know what's going to happen on the channel. Okay, so. Now. There are, if I haven't already mentioned it, there are two rules of thought here having to do with this combiner peg. This combiner peg is extremely tight. I mean, it's really tight to bend this joint, which is a really good thing for you when you're making your Devastator. But it's not a good thing when you're trying to maneuver it to get it up into a cavity where you can hide it. So I'm not going to hide it. I'll show you where it goes, but I'm not going to be the one hiding it today. The way this works, to get the body down here where you want it, there's these two little hinges here, if you notice. And they're on both sides of the robot. Okay? And you got these two little flaps here, and you got these two little divots. Oh, well, they're coming off on camera. You got those two little divots right there. What you have to do is, you have to bend this down on both sides and get it to lock into those two little points. Now what I've discovered is you can get one side and then you kind of have to flex the other side, but they both go. And the first time or two I did that, man, that was difficult. But now they kind of go in without too much trouble. I've done this a few times. So, okay, separate your arms. Right here's your arms, and they just come out on this joint right here. You can go ahead at this point and pull these out. You'll need those. Rotate, rotate, extend, extend, pull forward and down, pull your flap down, lift this up into the back, pull up your head, take your chest here, bring it up, and if you notice, if you can see this, there are clips here that will go into little grooves right there, and this is how you secure your chest, the chest of your robot, to your robot itself, which is not the greatest connection, but it is sufficient unless you decide to go crazy with him. Pull out your hands here, which they're just hidden right in here, and just flip down, just like that. Open and pull down. And let me show you, here's where that combiner peg is supposed to, you're supposed to push this up on this joint and just squirrel it away in there, if you can see. And yeah, I'm not going to do that. This plugs in right there, this comes down right there, and see, those pins came loose again, but that's okay. We'll make that work. Alright, and here is Bulldozer fully transformed. Let's go over detail and articulation and size comparisons in this mode. And before we go any further, yes, his gun has a slot right here, and he has a place in his hand that'll just slot it right in, and he holds it quite well without even wrapping his fingers around, so it's toleranced really well. So I tell you what, he's got light piping on his head. I'm gonna go hands-free here, as they say, and let's see if we can get that light piping to show. Oh, look how bright red that visor glows. Yep, okay. So while we're up here, let's take a look. Now he comes with a purple thing here, which I have removed because I didn't much care for it. So, but yeah, he comes with a purple cover, and obviously that's a repro label. But he's got some nice silver here for his head, and articulation. It moves back and forth and up and down. He's got silver right here and the clear translucent. He's got some grays in here when you take that off. That's translucent. He's got this is a purpley blue plastic, silver right here, the hands, the elbows. He's got some reds and some grays right here. This is gray plastic. The crotch area is just the same color plastic with the pistons are gray, and then the details here are just, these don't move anymore, and those are just pins. Alright, set this down. The back of the figure. Now there's two rules of thought here. One rule is you're supposed to fold this up, and it's supposed to go into this cavity back in here. I think I mentioned that during my transformation. If I didn't, I'm doing it now. It's just a bear to get in there because it's so tight, so I'm just not going to do it. It's okay to leave it out if you don't want to. I don't, somebody said once, I don't display my figures facing the wall, and I don't either. So, alright, we already covered articulation of the head. The arms can do a full 360. They're on a joint there. You move his flap out of the way and get his arms out all the way to there, which is pretty decent in my opinion, as far as my opinion goes. He's got a swivel there. He's got a bicep swivel right here. Right here. Let's see, elbow well past 90 degrees, and it doesn't break up the sculpt, so that looks pretty good too, I think. Wrists go all the way around. They're on a mushroom peg, and his hands are always in a relaxed position, and they're each individually articulated, which I would prefer to base pin knuckle, but okay. His waist easily moves, no problem. His hips, now here's where we come into some problems. They're on ball joints, and that's as far out as they're going to get. There's not going to be any Chinese splits here. Going forward, he should be able, he can do the American splits, no problem. But he's sure as hell not going to do the Chinese. Knee bend, and here is where this figure shines. It's this unique joint here that allows for a 90-degree bend on the leg. And that's just astonishing. Whoever did that is an amazing person. You have this fake rocker, which will give you all you want, depending. It's a toe and a heel rocker. You can get it. You have to move it, but you can move this piece and get it to go down. But it's not really designed to do that. So, I mean, you can get it to move down about that much, I would say, without really doing stuff to it. It is a little limited in the rocker area, or the toe tilt area. But otherwise, yeah, he's pretty posable if you decide to put your Constructicon in this mode. Size comparison wise, here he is with Movie Bumblebee. Here he is with Classics Prime, for you Classics fans. And here he is with DX9's Mytron, which is my Megatron. And that is the scale that I'm going for. That's what I'm looking for. That is exactly what I want on my shelf. Okay.
And thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Vitamin John. Operators are standing by.